putting this together. They do an awesome job. I knew would be a real difficult opener for us. Have no tape of them. You know, whenever you go into a game like this, you like to be prepared. You know, try to do the best you can off of last year's tapes. They changed up a lot of stuff, the screen coverage. I got to give Princeton a ton of credit. They did an unbelievable job, well coached. They're a Sweet 16 team. And it's on me to have our guys more ready. It was 12-4 out the gate. Can't start off a game like that. Do like our teams fight. We fought back. Couple possessions short. You know, got to finish around the basket. I think we missed 17, I think was the number that someone gave me. 17 layups. Not a recipe to win a game on a neutral site. But again, you know, Princeton did a great job. I want to thank our fans. Our fans came down. I appreciate that very much. And, you know, Princeton was better than us today, and that's on the coach. I got to do a much better job of getting us off the gate. They did a couple of flare actions that we weren't as prepared as I'd like to be with it. Probably needed one more veteran defender really against a good basketball team like that, but that's going to be an NCAA tournament team, there's no doubt in my mind. And they're going to have a great year, so congratulations to Princeton.
Jared. Steve, you have a lot of new pieces. This is a strange environment for you players. What do they get from playing a game like this?
You know, I think one thing that we've been able to do, the hard part is no prep for this game. You know, you could watch last year's tape, it was a different team. And I told our guys, you got to be prepared for anything. They did change up some stuff that they didn't do last year that they did this year. They were always in deep drop coverage with their fives. They changed that up considerably. So my prep wasn't as good, but you got to be able to prepare on the fly for these early games with no film. And our team, I like our team. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. We got to figure it out a little bit, and we got to get a couple more pieces back. But we were able to fight against a quality team with some veteran players. And I will tell you, I watched Alico a ton, and I liked him a ton. And then I see him live, and you know, it doesn't do him justice. He's really poised and strong and physical, and you know, they just made a few more plays than us down the stretch. And you know, again, I think we get a lot out of a game like this. I really do. It's a neutral site. It's a different kind of environment. You got to be ready to play wherever the game is, you know, thrown up. And when you're playing quality teams, you know, I would think this is an NCAA tournament team for sure. Right off the bat, I hope it helps prepare us for the next one down the road.
Brian.
Steve, you mentioned the missed layups. They had 15 offensive rebounds as well. Just really contribute to struggles inside of offense.
I mean, they really they did a good job of offensive rebound. You know, they kind of space you out. If you really know basketball, they take threes or layups. They space you out and they take threes, so it's long rebounds that come off the rim. And they can track them. You can always track a three when you shoot it. Our guys didn't do a great job of putting bodies on bodies. And then obviously, you know, us not finishing around the basket hurt our, you know, defense too tremendously. So, you know, we got to out-rebound teams like that. We got to make sure, and it's you know, less possessions in a game like that. They were running a lot of clock on all their possessions. We're trying to get up and down a little bit. So, I think you can learn a lot. And I like, you know, got my young guys some minutes. Got some other guys in the lineup. And it's a tough game. It's a tough game for young guys because it's just a lot of different actions. But better days ahead for us.
Aaron and then Steve.
Coach, you played your bench a lot, especially down the stretch. What went into that decision, and what did you
Well,
like?
when you start 12-4 or whatever it was, you know, I mean, you go to our bench kind of sparked us. I like this team. I like the depth that we have. I think we get some things off the bench too. And you know, I was looking a lot at the plus minuses too, like the different lineups. It's just a very difficult game with matchups and what have you. So we're going to play a lot of guys. We're going to play, you know, up tempo, and we're going to continue to use our bench. Hopefully it grows too as the season goes on, because we have a couple of guys we're waiting on.
Steve, how would you assess your backcourt play tonight?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the numbers, you know, obviously the numbers weren't great, but again, I got to put these guys in better situations. You know, we got to make better decisions. We do have to finish at the rim. We had a lot of layups that, you know, their numbers will look a little bit different. But again, you know, I always tell you guys, you know, the early games in the season, they're on the coaching staff. So we have to be prepared for everything, and we weren't. You know, hopefully moving forward here, we'll have a couple tapes of some different teams, and It'll be a little bit easier to make some game adjustments.
Right there.
Yeah, Coach, Caden Pierce, only 6'6", 15 boards, 6 of those offensive. What makes it so hard to keep him off the board?
Yeah, real physical, smart. You know, he's, I mean, I love watching the films of him last year. He goes relentlessly to the glass. You know, he does a really good job about using his body and leverage around the rim. But he's strong, he's physical. He's a really good player. He's a really good player. I think Rookie of the Year in the league and will continue to be an all-league player. They have good players. On tip of the hat, they've done a good job recruiting. Those kids can play.
Eddie in the back there.
Coach, Jared Simpson got the start of point, but we ended up seeing Michael Davis for 29 minutes. I'm just curious the decision there to get Davis involved, especially with Griffin's only playing 13, and you just the general feel of it.
Yeah, I mean, J. Mike has been great on the defensive end. I felt like our defense needed, and we needed some speed and really to pressure the ball and stuff. But, you know, Derek plays a lot. I mean, we're going to rotate all those guys in. Austin, we felt like was the best matchup for Alico, and that was important for us because he was having his way with us in the first half, so he garnered some of those minutes too. So, you know, the one thing, every game you're going to see a different guy. Like, I do like this group, and even Chol didn't get in today. I told him to keep his head up because he's going to have some games where we really need him too. So early in the season, just trying to figure it out a little bit with some of those guys and trying to ride the guy that, you know, we just felt was better on the defensive end.
Jared, Steve, what do you think of what you got on a Wolf?
I mean, I think he's, you know, kind of this how he's been playing and practicing. You know, he's a matchup, you know, problem. It's a tough game for him because now he's got to run around the court. I like to have Cliff and he in the game at the same time, but you're chasing around all guys that shoot threes. You know, so it's a little different than the traditional, you know, Big Ten lineups. But he's getting better and better. You know, he really is, and I'm real pleased with his progress. And I got to, you know, get him some more minutes.
What do you think of how they defended Cliff?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that they would. I mean, I thought Cliff got some really good looks too, but, you know, they came with double teams, and that's what they've shown on tape. And, you know, they came big to big. You know, they've actually had 3 different ways they doubled down in the post, so they only used one of those ways. We were prepared for all 3. Cliff's going to have to get used to that. But, you know, he still had his opportunities, and you know, it's on me to make sure that, you know, he's finishing and taking care of business around that rim because he's, you know, he's talented.
Right here.
Steve, this first time this rivalry has been played in a decade. Is it one you would like to see continue?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've tried to play, I think we've played every team in the state of New Jersey and tried to do a good job since I've been there. We played FDU, we played Ryder, we played we're going to play St. Pete's coming up here. You know, we've played, obviously, Seton Hall. So we have played everyone except, I think, Monmouth is the only team that we haven't played. You know, like to play them too at some point in time. So,
Chris.
Coach, do you feel like the game changed a bit when Anton Wolf came in, and then after that, you know, how does it feel? I know it was a hard fall.
yeah, I mean, I hope he feels all right. I mean, he's a football guy, so hopefully he'll be all right. But he landed on his tailbone, so hopefully you know, we need him, you know, moving forward, so we don't need any more injuries.
Ellis, and then we're wrapping up with Brian.
No, for Andy's got a lot of the ball handling. He goes for 3 assists, struggled to shoot a little bit. What do you see from his overall performance today?
I mean, Noah had, you know, some tough defensive assignments too. Peters can really shoot the ball. I mean, Peters can play. I mean, Alico can really play. I mean, they got some weapons, and then Martini stepped out and made some threes too, which makes it real difficult. So Noah had to guard a lot of different guys. And, you know, Noah's going to be good. He's going to be good. Need him to talk some more and be a little bit more verbal with these guys. But, you know, he was 3 for 10 today. I mean, he could be a 7 for 10 guy, 8 for 10 guy too. I've seen him do that. So we need him to be, you know, a good player for us. And I like our backcourt. We got different guys and different pieces. Just got to kind of blend it all together. And tonight's a hard game to, you know, be able to do that, you know, and that's because of the job that Princeton does.
Last one, Brian.
2 more words if you've got it. Watt, I was listed as questionable. Could he have played, or how close is he to?
I mean, you know, I'm not really in the, you know, Mawat's going to tell people when he's ready. So he's been practicing, so, you know, it's kind of on him, you know, moving forward. But, you know, he's only going to play when he feels 100%. I don't know when that'll be.
Yeah, if it's been 13 minutes, just what do you take away from how he played today?
Yeah, no, Gavin's going to be really good. He's got a terrific. I mean, a real tough game, and there were tough matchups throughout the game, and you know, it's just one of those nights. He's going to learn a lot. He's in the gym all the time. He's an awesome kid. you know, he's gonna be real good. Counting on him to be a real good player for us.
All right, thank you guys. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you guys, appreciate you guys coming.